Every time we turn around, there seems to be another. If they're not leaping off the library shelves, then they're flashing from the movie screen.
Well, let us say, without further ado, that our version is the true one.
Let there be no doubt about that.
Over 1,000 years or so, plenty of details have gone down the drain. It's a devil of a job to fight the propaganda.
Now, we know it may be difficult for you to accept some of the lesser-known elements of our tale, but we remain confident that open-minded, free-thinking people such as yourselves are more than up to it.
All right, enough of the tin wagging. Let's get on with it, for heaven's sake. Do you want to keep them here all night?
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you Lady Robyn of Locksley.
Oh, no. We'll have none of that lady jazz here. You're in my territory now, the Forest of Sherwood. I make the rules here, and Rule Number 6 clearly states that we operate on a strictly first-name basis. Hello and welcome, one and all. I'm Robyn, spelled Hawaii, I need to remind you. Hey, merry women, come on out and meet the people who are paying your wages today.
The merry band have been making their home in the Forest of Sherwood for quite some time now.
And as you can see, they're all ladies.
Women!
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Ladies wear tall, pointy hats with gauzy bits floating off the end and are constantly getting into trouble with fire-breathing dragons or wicked wizards and expecting some poor schmuck of a knight to go tearing off into the sunset to save them.
Yeah!
We have no room for such pathetic creatures here.
Yeah!
And as for dragons, I only wish a nice fat one would make an appearance in this part of Sherwood. A diet of the king's dear wild boar is all right as far as it goes. But variety, as they say, is the spice of life.
Yeah!
You know, I have a fantastic recipe for wild dragon over roast rice. I really must share it with you sometime.
As you can see, the merry band is composed entirely of women. Very few gentlemen are ever seen in Sherwood.
Gentlemen, fie! A worthless breed. Always putting on airs and acting as if they own the place. Well, wealth doesn't mean this much to me. And as far as I can see, money always seems to find its way into the wrong hands, namely gentlemen's hands. And a more dishonest and shady bunch you're not likely to find in 100 years.
Yeah! In fact, as I recall, only 2 gentlemen even make an appearance in our tale.
And one we hesitate to mention.
You must mean...
The Sheriff of Nottingham at your service, miserable thieves.
Watch your tongue, you pompous fool. You have no evidence against me or my women.
Women. A woman's place is in the home.
If for no other reason than to save the gentlemen from poisoning themselves on undercooked meat or drowning themselves in good ale. You chauvinistic porker, if you have anything important to say, let's have it.
I do indeed have something important to say. The list of charges against you, Robyn Hood, is as long as my arm.
You mean nearly as long as your nose.
Enough. There are no less than 16 counts of poaching the king's wild game here in Sherwood. 16.
Oh, nonsense.
Don't try my patience. Everyone knows you live in this forest. What, pray tell, do you live on?
Why, my dear sheriff, we're strict vegetarians. We wouldn't dream of touching a thick, juicy venison steak, or a tender haunch roast pork, or a few fat rabbits, or...
Liar! Thief and liar. You hunt this forest to feed your band of renegades. The king shall care of this when he returns to England.
I, too, will have a few good tales for our king sheriff. I think his grace would be very interested to know what passes for justice in these parts.
And what is that supposed to mean?
You know precisely what it means. Driving poor, starving people to steal in order to stay alive, filling the prisons with good folk whose only crime is trying to feed their families?
Yeah!
Oh, and I suppose you consider yourself one of these poor, starving unfortunates.
Not I. You know well that I was nobly born. Yes, some of these women were driven into the forest by desperate poverty, but not I. I simply see to it that the people need someone to look after themselves.
Someone to look after them. Isn't that what you call these antics? The list of charges against you does not end with poaching, Robyn. You are also charged with at least a dozen counts of robbery.
Robbery? What's a sheriff's word?
redistribution.
Yes, the wealthy do not deserve their ill-gotten gains. The hard-working poor do. I see to it that the money finds its way into the right hands, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt that His Grace the King will see things in such a light. Thieving is thieving. It's that simple.
Well, sure. Where's your proof?
Proof. I'm the Sheriff of Nottingham, you silly women. I don't need proof. Don't try to threaten me, you vagabonds. Go back home to your husbands. I've had me.
What was that about not needing proof?
Enough.
Sheriff, look, I don't think you're in a very strong position here. All in all, I think the best thing you can do is to get a move on back to Nottingham, don't you?
I will decide when it is time to.
And, since we wouldn't want you to be overburdened on your journey, how about handing over your gold?
Handing over my gold. Are you mad?
Not last time I checked.
You can't rob me.
And why not?
I'm the Sheriff of Nottingham.
So you are. And, as you have observed, I am an outlaw. So are they.
Yeah.
And it looks as if you're pretty well outnumbered here, wouldn't you agree? So, what do you say? The gold?
I suppose I'll let you off with a warning this time.
My, it's big of you.
But I will have my day. And when I do, Sherwood Forest will be free from your marauding band. You won't get away with this, Robyn Hood.
Well, it looks like you've bested the Sheriff of Nottingham yet again, Robyn.
Yeah, how many last warnings do you make that?
Oh, around 30, I should think.
So much for the first gentleman we tend to see in these parts. What about the other?
Oh, well, he's a different kettle of fish. You must mean Master Marvin.
How did you meet him, Robyn?
Oh, well, it was rather unfortunate, actually. Look at him. Adorable, yes. But he looks just like all the others that you pester and rob. How was I to know he'd be any different?
Well, thieves, vagabonds, outlaws, ladies. Sorry.
What have we here? What have we here?
We should rob him!
Well, well, well. And who might you be?
I'm Master Marvin. Who are you?
Oh, surely you must know. To hear the Sheriff of Nottingham talk, one would think our fame had spread to the ends of the earth.
Are you Lady Robyn of Locksley?
No, I'm plain old Robyn Hood. With a Y, please. Always with a Y.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. So, what brings you to Sherwood? Don't you know it's dangerous?
Well, yeah, but I might be beset by a band of thieves.
And you know,
Well, yeah, a little. But now that I've met you, I just find it so fascinating that you live this way.
why? Because I'm a woman? Because I should be home tending the fire and minding the children and baking stupid cakes?
No, because I admire you.
What?
I admire you. You have the courage to live the way that I'd like to.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, of course not. Everyone knows the people are suffering with His Grace the King fighting overseas. And you and your band do something about it. Plus, you want to know, the Sheriff of Nottingham is fit to be tied. He says he'll have you hanged, even if you're a woman.
I'm not afraid of that old windbag.
Well, perhaps you should be. 'Cause that old windbag is plenty attractive.
Not the old, let's have an archery contest to learn Robyn Nottingham's trick again.
Well, yeah.
Do you guys believe this?
No.
You must think I was born yesterday. Don't you worry your pretty little head about me, Marvin. I know how the sheriff's weaselly little mind works, and I have no intention of showing off for his amusement. I'm perfectly happy here in Sherwood.
You must be.
Look, Marvin, you look pretty wealthy. Care to make a contribution to the SFWRF?
What's the SFWRF?
The Sherwood Forest Wealth Redistribution Fund.
Well, seeing as it goes to a good cause.
Oh, it will. Say, you're a decent guy. How about giving up on all this gentleman jazz and joining the band? It might be kind of fun having a guy around you up.
Robyn, as much as I'd like to join your merry band, I simply cannot.
Why?
Living off the land night after night, fighting off wolves and sleeping on the ground requires great bravery, nerves of steel, and a quick wit. None of which I bring to your merry band.
Nonsense. Can you cook?
No,
Can you sew?
no.
Well, can you kiss? Not that. Are you sure you want to join us?
Robyn, I may be of more use to you in Nottingham. I can keep an eye on the sheriff when he's plotting trouble.
Good thinking, Marvin. You're all right for a guy. Oh, and thanks for your donation. I've got my eye on widower children this year. Christmas just may come early for them.
Bye, Robyn. Be careful.
Oh, I'm not the one who has to be careful. You're the one who has to be careful because you never know where thieves and brigands might be lurking.
Well, a nice fellow, Master Marvin.
The best.
I pity you won't join the band.
Well, you know what men are like. They get used to the little comforts. Feather beds, regular meals, that kind of thing. It's not for nothing that we call them the weaker sex.
Yeah.
Robyn, how about you tell us about some of your merry women?
Yes, how did they end up joining the band?
Very well, very well. As you know, I'm a regular whiz with a stout staff. A handy piece of wood can save your neck if you know how to use it properly. And wood is one thing we have plenty of in Sherwood. Well, one day we were, making merry, skinning rabbits and plucking pheasants, etc., etc. And along came the most amazing woman. Hey, you there!
Who, me?
No, the rooster beside you. Who do you think?
There's no need for that.
I'll speak as I like. What's your business in Sherwood?
Who wants to know?
Who wants to answer?
What's it to do with you?
Everything in Sherwood concerns me, my fine friend.
At the moment, I'm wondering whether or not to give you a clout, actually.
Oh, that's rich. You give me a clout? Me, the ruler of Sherwood Forest? Well, come on then. Let's see how you fare.
All right, you little show-off. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Not bad, am I?
I'll get ready to eat your words, stranger. Not a chance. Here what comes? You are a fighter after my own heart, my girl. Welcome to Sherwood.
As for your friends, perhaps you could tell me where might I find the famous Robyn Hood everyone is talking about. I'd like to meet you. What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. It's just that you don't have far to look.
You don't mean you are Robyn Hood?
None other.
But I thought she'd be an old woman by now. You robbed the sheriff of Nottingham. You robbed the rich and gave to the poor and so on.
Why is that so hard to believe?
Well, you're famous right to the end of the earth. I've never met a living legend before.
Well, there's a first time for everything. What do they call you?
My name is Jane Little, but most people call me Little Jane. You can call me anything you like if you let me join your band, Robyn.
Done. Merry women, welcome, little Jane.
Everyone was so keen on joining Robyn's band at first.
No, indeed.
I think I know who you mean.
So, you are the famous Robyn Hood?
Sister.
Don't you sister me. I'm not one of your fans.
No.
Certainly not. I've lived in Sherwood Forest for years now, with no trouble at all. Till you came.
Is that so?
Suddenly the place is crawling with the sheriff's men. Not to mention the curiosity seekers who see the whole thing as some sort of show expressly for their amusement. I don't like it, I tell you. I intend to petition His Grace the King as soon as he gets back. Until then, it seems I am stuck with you. Well, there goes the neighborhood. A bit of respect, please. I've been independent for quite a while now, and I expect this will take some getting used to.
Forgive me, sister. What will take some getting used to?
Why join your merry band, of course?
Joining my band?
Well, you don't think I can find any peace here in Sherwood anymore, do you? Oh, no, you've seen to that. And I suppose I've had enough of living alone.
But, sister, we...
Look, I can't enjoy my solitude anymore. What choice do I have? None. That's what. Do you, or do you not agree?
But, sister, we're outlaws.
We steal. We hunt the king's deer.
We've even taken gold from the sheriff of Nottingham himself. What's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
Look, I can draw a bow with the best. How do you think I've managed to survive all this time out here on my own? Not on bread and water, I tell you.
No?
Not on your Nelly. Venison stew.
You hunt deer?
No, I whistle and they lead into my cooking pot. What do you think?
Forgive me.
It's just that we didn't think, well, a nun.
Oh, please. You're a lady.
Oh, woman.
A lady. A lady by birth. Does that mean that all you're good for is wringing your hands and yelling to be rescued?
No.
Of course not. Well, I am a nun. I'm also a human being. We do have to eat, you know.
Point taken.
Well then, am I in or aren't I?
You're in. Welcome to the band. Your name?
Sister Tuck. Rhymes with duck.
And lunch.
And Mug.
That's quite enough. Thank you.
Excuse me, sister, but I have some gold to give away. Anyone with me?
Yeah! Honestly, well, it does rough.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've seen how screwy most of your Robin Hood legends have gotten over the years.
Robin is never spelled with a Y in your version, and your merry women are merry men.
Why the only female in the whole story seems to be some mythical beast named Maid Marian.
Loosely based on Master Marvin, presumably. But what a whim!
Marian, not Marvin.
Maid Marian seems to be nothing but the worst excesses of ladyship. All pointy hats with gauzy bits floating off the end, always crying or being taken prisoner or some such nonsense.
Obviously, Master Marvin is nothing like that.
Why, I doubt he even owns a pointy hat.
But it wouldn't suit him anyway, would it? Maid Marian, it's a plot, you know, a plot. All the good parts always go to the fellows, but that's Hollywood. This is reality.
Little Jane, Sister Tuck, may we have a few words?
This had better be good. I was in the middle of cutting myself a new staff.
Yes, what is it? It's a full-time job, you know, this no riding. Haven't got all day.
We just thought it'd be a good chance for you to give these good people a glimpse into the real picture here in Sherwood.
Well, there's not much to tell. You know now that the movies and most of the books out there are complete nonsense, cooked up by jealous guys who like to think they thought of it first. Quite honestly, they'd only made a mess of everything. But Robin's great. She set up that widow and her children all right. These gold pieces outside the door of their shack, a few each week. They think the fairies bring it.
And as you can see, I'm no drunkard. I don't know how that's made its way to the legends. I never have more than a small sherry at bedtime. Though, people will talk, I suppose. Of course, we do bedevil the sheriff, and he has what is commonly called a bad attitude. Mr. Martin, what news?
The sheriff. He said he has a warrant for Robin's arrest. Giving up his precious gold didn't seem to suit him well enough.
Get going and warn her. We'll do what we can to stall them.
Right.
What should we do?
No worries. I've been planning for just such an emergency.
You have? But what?
Ho there, Robyn Hood! Your time has finally run out.
No time to explain. Stand right there in front of me.
I hope you know what you're doing.
All right, where is she? I have it at last. an airtight warrant for the arrest and subsequent hanging of Lady Robyn of Locksley. I told her that this day would come, but did she listen? No. That vile, thieving, boastful
Sheriff! Such language!
sister. I'm sorry. What are you? What is a lone nun like you doing in the middle of Sherwood with such brigands?
Sheriff, you mustn't say such things. We are all sisters and brothers after all.
These are no sisters of mine. They're outlaws.
Sheriff, do not undo all of the good work I've been accomplishing with these troubled souls these many weeks.
Good work.
Of course! Bringing some moral instruction to these poor devils. I've been sent on a special commission to show them the error of their ways. Isn't that so, my child?
Are you out of your... Oh yeah, of course. I almost forgot. The error of our ways.
It is as I feared. I'm afraid you're a bad influence on them, Sheriff.
Me. A bad influence. I'm the Sheriff of Nottingham.
And nevertheless, you aren't good for the moral development. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave me to my work.
Oh no. I finally have a warrant for Robyn Hood. And excuse me, sister, but I'm not leaving until I have her.
Oh yeah? Well, you'll just have to...
Did you see how aggressive they become at the very sight of you, Sheriff? This will never do.
I demand to see Robyn Hood.
That can be easily arranged. Oh, Robyn, the Sheriff of Nottingham is here to see you. And remember, my child, be guided by me.
This is beyond belief. Robyn Hood and her merry women being guided by a sister in the ways of peace. Ah, Robyn, we meet again. And Master Marvin, what are you doing here?
It's Marvin, of course, who led me to these poor wretches. Wasn't it, Marvin, dear? Well, as you can see, he is not exactly possessed of an eloquent turn of phrase. Thankfully, I am. He told me of their plight, and I came as soon as the special commission came through.
Special commission?
You know, from him.
You got a special commission from him?
Shh! Don't spread it around, or else be crawling with pilgrims.
Sister, I must see your papers.
Oh, ye little bait! Shame on you, Sheriff!
Marvin, you're a good lad, well known in court. Is this preposterous story true?
Remember, son, you are already forgiven.
Of course it's true, Sheriff. You got the word of good sister here? Robyn, tell him.
Upon my honor as a lady, it is true, Sheriff. I have seen the error of my ways. My days of crime are over. From now on, I will do no more than assist this good woman in her worthy work, collecting donations for the poor and destitute, assisting the wealthy in the distribution of alms, even putting poor forced beasts out of their misery. Isn't that true, my loyal friends?
Absolutely.
Sister Tuck has agreed to live with us in the peace and seclusion of Sherwood Forest for as long as it takes to continue her instruction to put us all firmly on the straight and narrow.
Or until His Grace the King returns and throws his slimy sheriff in the royal dungeon.
So, as you can see, Sheriff, all is in hand. There is no need for you to take Lady Robyn Hood back with you to Nottingham, or for you to pay another visit to these humble renegades. They are answering to a higher authority.
I see.
I knew you would. You remember how pious His Grace the King is. Imagine how upset he would be if he learned that upon his return that his loyal sheriff had refused to honor a special commission.
Come now, Sheriff. Be a good lad and make a contribution to the Sisters' Benevolent Fund, would you?
Benevolent fund?
I think you'd better, Sheriff. As you can see, she has a direct line.
But this is just... I suppose... I must be working too hard.
time you hear someone repeating those dry old Robin Hood legends of big, brawny men and damsels in distress, tell them the truth about the merry women.
No pointy hats.
No Maid Marian.
No Little John.
No drunken friars.
And no merry men.
Oh, and one more thing, will you? Please do remember to spell Robin with a Y. If you will, you can see how touchy she can get about that.